Good evening and thanks for joining us for KTK News at 10. I'm Marlena Hamilton. I'm at the Villages near Lake Palestine where the 29-year-old was arrested by the sheriff's office. I'm actually staying right in front of the house where he was arrested, and we talked to the homeowners just moments ago. They wouldn't go on camera, but they told us that Mata worked for him and he considered him a friend. Neil and Casey, 38-year-old Kimbrick Jones was a sheriff deputy for 5 years. A rumor about him selling drugs led to a 2-month investigation. The sheriff's office arrested him last July for selling crack cocaine, meth, and marijuana out of his car. Every police car is equipped with this dash cam, but in a few months, the White House Police Department will also be equipped with these body cameras. So every time a police officer is on a call, everything is recorded. This is one of the results from last night's severe ice storm in East Texas. Trees falling on power lines, 9,000 people in Smith County without power, thousands in Gregg County. And SWEPCO tells us that those people might not even get power until noon on Wednesday. Investigators continue to search for the reason Staff Sergeant Yvonne Lopez opened fire at Fort Hood this week. Probably not the right day to wear a dress, but I'm definitely gonna do some drag racing right now, I guess, and put all the gear on. Fire jacket. His 2 girls were playing in the front yard and went inside to take a nap, and that's when he thought he could catch up on some chores. His fiance's brother came over and noticed the girls were missing, and that's when the unthinkable happened. This is the house where the man lived, where police found some of his remains in the backyard, but the dog took his skull about a half a mile down the road. According to the arrest affidavit, Hawkins Mayor William Rogers came to this woman's house. He told her grass was too tall and he was going to ticket her and fine her $500. Rogers was arrested yesterday for official oppression. Hey Neil, when we have these freezing temperatures and rain, the roads start to expand, the asphalt begins to separate, and then it cracks. And then when rain gets into these cracks, it forms a pothole. And this is not what you want to hit when you're in your car on the road. We'll begin with our top news this morning. Smith County deputies are investigating after finding a man who's been shot. The suspect has been identified as Isaiah Roberts. He shot and killed 2 women in this home right over here. We have it confirmed by the Houston County judge that this facility right behind me, which is called the Crockett State School, might be used to house illegal immigrants. Flu season may technically be over, but doctors say it's possible a few cases will be diagnosed this summer. Right now on Highway 31 near FM 850, drivers only have the opportunity to pass on this narrow lane, but starting in January, they're going to start 3 projects to expand to a passing lane to promote safety and mobility. During duck hunting season, hunters can only have 3 rounds in their gun. And Ashley, we don't want to leave you out. We're here to talk about the farmers market in the magazine and also some lifestyle. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, the farmers market, they just opened.
The way these hunters shoot, like John, is they place the gun on the wheelchair. They then move the gun up, down, right, and left with this chin controller. And then they shoot by sipping through this tube. This is the scene from last night's fire where 2 heroic firefighters, one being only 19 years old, went in and saved Joe Yeakley's life. All right, so if you're heading to church, if you're heading to breakfast, bring an umbrella, bring your rain jacket,
That's right.
And if you're a girl, wear your hair up because the humidity will make it go like this, right?
Yes.
Pam, and this is Rebel. She is adorable with her little bow this morning. Can you tell us a little bit about Rebel's topping today's entertainment news? What does it take for a Christmas movie to be considered a classic? Apparently that's a matter of some debate. Hey Casey, right now I'm sliding down the old Bergfeld Park slide, but pretty soon the city will be renovating this park. I guess that's what happens sometimes. We've had a long day at the Olympics, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, Marcus, what's the weather looking like?
Tonight.
Happy 4th of July, everyone. We're out here right now on Lake Palestine to ask some East Texans some 4th of July trivia. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 10 o'clock. Jeffrey Brotherton is the one who put on this protest. He says his 4-year-old daughter Kylie was in the homecoming parade, and she's been having nightmares about the Church of Wells's preaching.
One of the main guys that was doing all the hollering was a gentleman in like a blue jacket. And all she keeps saying is, you know, Daddy, the man in the blue shirt, the man in the blue shirt's going to come and take me to hell. And she woke up in the middle of the night last night crying and asked me, she said, "Daddy, please save me. He's coming to get me."
So at 2 p.m. on Saturday, the community members made shirts and signs. We're going to march down to the Church of Wells convenience store. But before the protest began, the Church of Wells made their way to them.
God would never step out of line and tell a child that is 4 years old that she's going to hell. And that's all I've got to say to you.
The only point that I want to say, sir, is we weren't targeting your child. We were speaking to the adults, and your child just happened to be there, sir. That's all.
And then the fiery exchanges began.
We are not going to back down to y'all no more. We are not going to let you get away with nothing. You're not telling children in this community they're going to hell. You will not tell our citizens or nobody.
We didn't go out there to preach to children. We didn't walk up to this child we don't know and say, "You're going to hell." We were openly proclaiming the gospel to all the multitude of the people that were there. And at the age of the knowledge of good and evil, she needs to know that she's going to hell, and she needs to know how to be saved.
And who else was present at the protest? Catherine Grove. Grove left her family almost a year ago, and her parents have been trying to talk to her ever since. Grove had very few words to say, but she did have to say this.
You want to talk to Catherine? She's dead.
Catherine. What do you mean Catherine's dead? What do you mean by that?
You're standing right
I've been crucified with Christ.
Nevertheless.
Catherine, what's your name now?
Now what's your name?
Catherine.
When Wells community members asked if she wanted to say anything to her parents, she put her head in her hands and became quiet once again. After about 2 hours, the community members made their way down to the convenience store with the Church of Wells right behind them. And then during the protest, the Church of Wells were singing while the Wells members were saying, some say the Church of Wells members are domestic terrorists, and this will not be the last protest they have.
Pack your stuff up and go on down the road.
Yeah, make it easier on everybody.
But the Church of Wells members say they will not leave until God tells them to.
There's nothing that they can do physically, emotionally, mentally, with accusatory speech or anything that would make us leave unless God told us to leave.
The only person crazier than a deer hunter is a duck hunter.
Duck hunting season started November 2nd and goes until January 26th, with a 2-week break in between.
I like it when we get ducks and we eat them.
Ducks are starting to get out of the cold weather up north and migrate south, and East Texas is a prime location for many migrating birds.
Gadwalls are pretty standard here. We'll also get some mallards, some wood ducks.
This year, a record high number of birds are flying in from the north, meaning it will be a pretty good season for duck hunting.
There's a lot of things that factor into when birds show up and when they leave. Habitat conditions being the driver for all that.
But it can be a hit or miss.
If we don't have any water, it's not very good.
And this type of hunting can be a challenge.
You need to scout and find the ducks and find out where they're going to be. Then you have to wake up before the sun comes up, go out, set up decoys.
During duck hunting season, hunters can only have 3 rounds in their gun. And a hunter can only bag 6. 4-year-old Lincoln and 8-year-old Landry love watching their dad and dog Dax hunt for ducks.
You get to watch them flying and just listen to your dad make duck calls.
Well, most of the time. What is your favorite part of duck hunting?
When we get done.